Hello, Form 1 students. Welcome to our business studies lesson. And today we continue with our topic, home trade. This is our lesson number 4. I'm your teacher, Mr. Wanyewike from Mary Hill Girls High School. Welcome. So today we are still discussing our objective number 4, types and functions of retailers, and we are covering large-scale retailers today. Let's start with the features or characteristics of large-scale retailers. 1, they require large amounts of capital to start and maintain. Number 2, they operate from a larger fixed premises. That is, they are larger than the single shops or tied shops and so on. Number 3, they operate mainly in urban areas or near urban areas. Number 4, they have a large labor force. In other words, they are many workers working in these large-scale retailers. Number 5, they buy goods in large quantities from wholesalers or directly from manufacturers and producers, and therefore they enjoy a large trade and quantity discounts, or they enjoy economies of scale. Number 6, they require the services of specialists such as salespersons, accountants, managers, and so on. Number 7, they normally occupy one large premises or several premises in the same town or in different towns. Number 8, they have large stocks and large sales volumes. Examples of large-scale retailers include supermarkets, chain stores, shopping malls, or mail order stores, and so on. Let's begin with the supermarkets. I'm sure near your area there is a supermarket. You have ever done shopping in a supermarket? And a supermarket is a large self-selection store that deals mainly with household goods such as utensils, foodstuffs, furniture, clothes, etc. Goods in a supermarket are well displayed on shelves and carries a price tag. The buyer walks around picking the goods where they want, and they place them on trolleys or a basket. The goods are paid to one of the cashiers stationed near the exit, and that is where the goods are paid for. Payment is done there, and then after payment, goods are packed, and then the shopper goes home with the goods. On this page, we have an example of a supermarket, the Nakumatt supermarket, and then we have a shopper inside the supermarket picking her goods. Let us now look at the features of supermarkets. 1, they require large capital to start because they have large buildings, they require large spaces, they require a lot of labor, they require qualified employees, they require a lot of stock, and so on. That's why they require large capital to start. Number 2, they stock a variety of goods. If it is like foodstuffs, you find very, very many types of foods. If it is furniture, very many of them, and so on. Number 3, they offer self-service facilities. In other words, shoppers pick items themselves and walk with them to the pay point. So they serve themselves, they pick what they want. Next one, goods have price tags on them. The goods on the shelves, all of them have price tags so that the shopper can pick the one they want according to their budget. The next feature is that the prices in our supermarkets are fixed. There's no room for bargaining. The next one is that credit facilities are not offered. So shoppers are not given goods on credit. So they don't borrow, they don't, supermarket, they don't lend goods to their shoppers. They have to pay in cash. And supermarkets, in most cases, they sell goods at comparatively low prices. And that's why sometimes they attract very many customers. Let us look at the advantages of supermarkets. One, they buy goods in large quantities, which enable them to enjoy economies of scale, or they are able to get good trade discounts, and they are therefore able to sell their goods at lower prices. Number two, customers get all the goods they want under one roof. This saves the time to move from one building to another. Number three, supermarkets employ few attendants, and therefore they reduce their monthly wage bill, because shoppers, they pick the item themselves and work with them. Number four, supermarkets try to bring the idea of impulse buying to the customers. This means once shoppers are in the supermarket, most of the times they buy goods beyond what they had planned. And this means more sales to the supermarket, which will lead to higher profits. Number five, they do not sell goods on credit, and therefore they are able to avoid bad debts. Bad debts, remember we said, these are people who fail to pay once they have carried goods. Let us look at the disadvantages. Supermarkets do not offer credit facilities to the customers, and therefore even those very loyal customers, when they don't have cash, then they cannot be assisted, they cannot get goods. Number two, they don't deliver goods to customers' premises unless they pay for them, for the service of delivering goods. Number three, they don't give personal services to customers. In other words, the customers have to go around picking the items they want, and then they have to carry them on their own. Once they have bought them, then the relationship ends there. Number four, the incoming losses due to privileges of goods. Remember, they are buying goods in large quantities, and the goods as they are carried, especially those that can spill easily, the liquids and those in powder form like flour, there's a lot of spillage. So goods tend to maybe break or spill, and because they are buying in large quantities, they are dealing with large number of goods, or large quantities of goods, then cumulatively, by the end of the day, there are many wastages of goods. Number five, impulse buying leads to the customer to buy goods they may not want or they may not have budgeted for. So to the customer, it is a disadvantage, because they end up overspending what they did not want to spend. And sometimes they buy goods that they never wanted. But because it was well displayed, then they were so much attracted to it, they end up buying it even without planning. Chain stores or multiple stores. This is another large-scale retail business where large-scale businesses are separated by branches, and they are managed and organized centrally. In other words, the business has got multiple branches or many branches, very similar to one another. So the branch managers are accountable to the head office, because all these branches are managed centrally. Good example today is the Deacons, the African Retail Traders or ART, White Rose Dry Cleaners, Nakumatt Supermarkets, Tasky Supermarket, Uchubi Supermarket. In fact, most supermarkets have ended up becoming chain stores. They have branches all over. The other feature, maybe you can note here, is that they have standard prices for their products, no matter where the branches are located. The other one is that they have similar shop fronts, appearance, and displays. They have even the branding, the way they write their name. You find that all of them, they have similarity, such that if you know one branch maybe in Nairobi, once you see another one in Mombasa, then you can even tell which branch or which business that is without reading the name. So on this page, we have examples of chain stores or multiple stores like the Nakumatt. So you said that there is Nakumatt Kigali Tower, Nakumatt Thika Road, Nakumatt Garden City, and so on. If it is Uchumi, there are many branches. There is Uchumi in Mombasa, there is Uchumi in Nairobi, there is Uchumi in Thika, there is Uchumi in Kisumu, and so on. Like this one is an example of Uchumi, an Uchumi branch in Garden City. Lana, let us now look at the characteristics of chain stores or multiple stores. One, they are managed centrally from a head office. Number two, prices are standard for all products in all their branches. Number three, all branches deal in the same type of products. Number four, sales are decentralized, meaning sales will be done at the branch level, where the branch is. If it is Nakumatt, a Kisumu branch, then they will do their sales there. But when they are purchasing goods, when they are purchasing stock, then that one is centralized. It is controlled by the head office. That is the one that manages how purchases are going to be done. That is for the stock, and they source the goods that have been ordered by the head office. So they buy stock in bulk and they distribute them to their branches. The next feature is that goods can be transferred from one shop to another where maybe the demand for them is higher. The next one is that the shop operate under one name and and they are similar in appearance and even the interior and the exterior layout. Advantages of chain stores. They buy goods in large quantities and therefore they obtain good trade discounts. This means they're able to sell at better prices and they're also able to fetch good profits. Number two, the cost of running a chain store is controlled and managed at the head office. The headquarters advertises on behalf of the branches. So if it is one advert on the TV or over the radio or on the newspaper, it will cover all the branches. This means cheaper advertising cost per branch because it is one advertisement standing for all of them. Number three, slow-moving goods can be transferred to other branches where demand for them is high, and therefore it means that their goods may not overstay on the shelves because they can be taken to where the demand is high. Number five, the identical sold by chain stores and the similar shops fronts and window displays publicize the business, and therefore it is very easy to identify the shops, so customers can identify themselves with the branches. You hear shoppers say, I normally do my shopping in Nakumatt, I normally do my shopping in Naivas. So because they know wherever they go, they are going to get a branch or they're likely to get a branch near them. And therefore, they get customers' loyalty. Number five, chain stores serve a wide market because they are spread all over the country. And therefore, they are able to make huge profits cumulatively. Number seven, goods are sold on cash basis and therefore they are able to avoid bad debts. So you don't get or they don't have customers who take goods on credit and then they fail to pay. So because they sell in cash, then they avoid that trouble of bad debts. Disadvantages of chain stores. The large amount of capital is required to run a chain store, which may not be available for many people. Number two, people tend to shy away from buying identical products such as clothes, and therefore they go to where they feel they are going to get very unique products. Remember we said chain stores, they stock the same products. So you find that this is a pair of shoe, you have all the branches with the same pair of shoe, and one might feel if I buy this one, you'll find many other people wearing the same, and therefore they tend to go to other shops that could be very unique. Number three, chain stores do not offer credit facilities to customers, and therefore even those that are very loyal to those branches, then they don't have to, they may not be able to get those goods when they don't have money. Apart from those businesses like ART that deal with hire purchase businesses. These other ones, especially for foodstuffs, then customers have to pay in cash. There's lack of personal touch with customers. You see, these stores, they are mainly handled or they are mainly run by employees, and therefore customers do not have personal touch with the owners of the businesses. So even when they feel they want to give their comment, their suggestions, then they don't have that personal touch with the owners of the business. That they just walk away with their troubles, and then the business may not improve or may not get direct feedback from the customers.